Top of the point deflect. Hayward covers it up, and Neely mixes it up in front of the net. Fighting with Picard and Neely. And Robert Picard in a pile-up on the ice with Neely on top.
I understand Neely can handle himself very well, Jim. You don't want to tangle with him.
And he got in the only real punch there. I think he threw a quick left hand to start it off. Neely is left-handed, and sometimes I think that's an advantage in these straps. Oh, his hand is getting awfully sore. There's a lot of helmets to hit. Boy, it looked like he hurt his hand there.
Yes, he did.
Well, they'll cool it out for a while from the Winnipeg Arena. This is Hockey Night in Canada. And they're being guided to the penalty box as Bob Myers is keeping a control on things here in what could be a rough first period. Doug Hallward and Laurie Boschman in a fight that broke out after the play had stopped. Boschman and Hallward. Patty and Smale were just sent off with minors. In the discussion that followed, this broke out.
Well, this isn't something new for Laurie Boschman as he leads the Winnipeg Jets in penalty minutes at 175, and will add to that total.
Boston guided to the penalty box. There's quite a rivalry between these two clubs. They've had a couple of rough games this year. Although Vancouver in some areas are considered not a very tough team anymore, that some of the toughness has gone out of their lineup with Ron DeLorme injured and Tiger Williams traded away. But it looks like they're going to play tough tonight. Dougie deflects it high. Failed to get it out. Roughs up Mullen on the boards, and their gloves are off. At least Petit's gloves are off. Throwing punches at Mullen, and now Babbage comes in and grabs Petit. I don't know if Mullen got his gloves off at all, but Petit had his off early, and we'll see how referee Bob Myers assesses this. Now, we had two fights in the first period, Neely and Picard, and Hallward and Boschman. Patty and Smale also got roughing minors, so it looks like they're going to keep playing it that way.
Well, also, it looked like Howardchuk was going to come in and try and step in there, and then McLean came in, and you wonder if there's going to be a third man in this situation. And this has been a big line for the Winnipeg Jets. Howardchuk, McLean, and Mullen have scored 39 points as a unit against the Vancouver Canucks in 6 games. So far, they've been held pointless.
Petit appeared to be the aggressor, but we'll see if the penalties are equal or just how Bob Myers is going to assess them. And, of course, he's been around a long time, 16 years in the league. As you look at Michel Petit, one of many young defensemen in the Vancouver lineup. And Petit is getting an extra 2 minutes. 3-all tie, 3 minutes gone, second period. That goal by Babbage is a power play goal, the first of the game. Gillis is hit by Picard as Patty shot high. What a hit on Jerry Gillis by Robert Picard. And then Gillis runs Picard right back, and the goaltender looks hurt. And now it's getting a little rough out there as Gillis is being challenged by Smale. Smale and Gillis get into a fight. Well, it's a team heading for the Stanley Cup playoffs and a team going nowhere, but they're testing each other tonight.
Boy, are they ever. And, you know, from the standpoint of the Winnipeg Jets, anytime your goaltender gets knocked down, boy, you have to let the opposition know that you can't pull any kind of stuff like that and go after them. And that's exactly what Smale did.
Well, actually, he wasn't running the goaltender. Gillis ran Picard for that earlier hit.
Of course, Smale didn't realize that.
Oh, it's a real brawl now. Sundstrom is stuck with Boschman, and that is a mismatch. And Sundstrom is not a scrapper, and Boschman is as tough a guy as there is in the Winnipeg lineup, I guess. Rick Lance is Jim Nill. J.J. Daigneault and Dave Ellett look like they might get into it, and young Daigneault isn't afraid to throw the punches, and I'm sure Ellett wouldn't back away as Jerry Gillis is being pushed into the penalty box with Winnipeg's Doug Smale.
You know, also, Jim, I don't think the Winnipeg Jets expect the Vancouver Canucks to play like this. You know, they're out of the playoffs, so why get themselves hurt in a fight or body contact? But the Canucks are showing that they mean business, and then they're working as hard as they can trying to win this hockey game.
Now, this all started with a tremendous body check. As you look at linesman Wayne Forsey, and there's Ron Smith, the 41-year-old associate coach of the Canucks. This hit started it all when Gillis took the check and then went looking for Picard after.
Well, folks, we don't see much of this anymore, but this is one of the best. I mean, talk about being hit by a Mack truck. Down goes Gillis. Excellent timing by Picard to line up Gillis and knocking to the seat of his pants.
Well, now we saw why Gillis was in a little trouble, though, because Boston was coming over there, and he was looking at that number 16. He didn't see number 3 coming through like an express train. Then Gillis went back and hit the Winnipeg defenseman Picard, and now this erupts, and there's going to be a lot of penalties. From the Winnipeg Arena, this is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. This is Hockey Night. It hit it right in the face, and Butcher is down. One punch by Jim Kite. Now Cam Neely is talking to Kite. Garth Butcher's a pretty tough kid, but Kite, a big, strong guy, when the glove started to come off, boom, right in the face, and Butcher is on his knees. And the fans standing and cheering are some who say they don't like fights. They don't mind them if the home guy wins.
You're absolutely right. Jim Kite, he just was ushered to the penalty box, and again, it's going to be interesting to see what the penalty call is in this one.
Well, Garth Butcher looks a little groggy after taking that punch to the face from Jim Kite. Kite, drafted by the Boston Bruins. Ran into Picard. Good check by Picard.
So for a defenseman, when you size up the situation and see that your wingers are covered the way it was, why not stand up at that blue line and make contact? Good play by Picard.
Good contact in this game tonight.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
That hit her up there again. Watch them in front of the net. Here they go. Here they go. Butcher's come back. Jim Kite, Garth Butcher. I'll give Butcher marks for some courage here. He gets in a couple. Kite is bigger, stronger. But he showed up after that earlier punch.
Absolutely. I give Butcher a lot of marks for that. I wonder if I would have come back after something like that. I don't think I would have wanted to tangle Kite. So good for Butcher, and that'll give his team point a lift.
Kite and Butcher guided to the penalty box. Of course, Kite is a big, tough kid. Originally a first-round draft choice. And now he'll sit out for 5, and so will Butcher as Ron Smith looks on.